For today's video, I'll be ranking the current Premier League clubs based on their transfer net spend based on the past 5 transfer seasons. This will not include this summer, as it is only halfway through this window, and the transfers are coming from the 2016-2017 season through the 2020-2021 season. Also, the rankings will go from the best net spend to the worst net spend, so first place will be the club who has spent the most and received the least. Brentford is in last place on this list with a positive 102.77 million transfer net spend over the past 5 years. Impressively, over the past 5 seasons they have not had a single year in the negative. Some notable arrivals for them were Ivan Toney for 5.6 million and Brian Mbeumo for 6.5 million. Some departures are Neil Maupay for 22.22 million and Ollie Watkins for 34 million. Norwich is in 19th place with a positive 85.01 million transfer net spend. Some notable Norwich arrivals will be Emiliano Buendia for 1.5 million and Timo Pukki for free. Some notable departures will be Ben Godfrey for 27.5 million and Jamal Lewis for 16.5 million. Watford has the 18th worst transfer net spend in the Premier League this year, with a total net spend of negative 17.7 million. Some notable arrivals are Ismaila Sarr for 30 million and Richarlison for 12.4 million. Some notable departures are Decore for 22.1 million and Richarlison for 39.2 million. Southampton has the 17th worst transfer net spend with negative 25.2 million. Some notable arrivals are Kyle Walker-Peters for 13.3 million and Danny Ings for 22.2 million. Some notable departures are Matt Targett for 15.5 million and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg for 16.6 million. Crystal Palace is the 16th worst transfer net spend with a negative 49.37 million. Some notable arrivals are Eberechi Eze for 17.8 million and Mamadou Sakho for 28.2 million. Some notable departures are Steve Mandanda for 3 million and Aaron Wan-Bissaka for 55 million. Burnley have the 15th worst transfer net spend with negative 62.24 million. Some notable arrivals are Ben Gibson for 16.9 million and Chris Wood for 16.4 million. Some notable departures are Michael Keane for 28.5 million and Tom Heaton for 8.8 million. Newcastle United have the 14th worst transfer net spend with negative 73.34 million. Some notable arrivals are Miguel Almiron for 24 million and Joe Linton for 44 million. Some notable departures are Ayoze Perez for 33.4 million and Alexander Mitrovic for 24.7 million. Leeds have the 13th worst transfer net spend with a negative 91.41 million. Some notable arrivals are Patrick Bamford for 7.9 million and Rafinha for 18.58 million. So notable departures are Jack Clark for 11 million and Chris Wood for 16.4 million. Leicester have the 12th worst transfer net spend with negative 116.93 million. Some notable arrivals are Wesley Fofana for 35 million and Youri Tielemans for 45 million. Some notable departures are Harry Maguire for 87 million and Ben Chilwell for 50.2 million. Liverpool have the 11th worst transfer net spend since 2016 with a negative 159.03 million. Some notable arrivals are Virgil van Dijk for 84.65 million and Mo Salah for 42 million. Some notable departures are Felipe Coutinho for 135 million and Christian Benteke for 31.2 million. West Ham are the 10th worst transfer net spend since 2016 with a negative 190.17 million. Some notable arrivals are Felipe Anderson for 38 million and Sebastian Haller for 50 million. Some notable departures are Marco Arnautovic for 25 million and Dimitri Payet for 29.3 million. Brighton have the 9th worst transfer net spend since 2016 with a negative 222.79 million. Some notable arrivals are Basuma for 16.9 million and Neil Maupay for 22.22 million. Some notable departures are Anthony Knockaert for 11.7 million and Aaron Moy for 4.5 million. Tottenham have the 8th worst transfer net spend since 2016 with a negative 226.75 million. Some notable arrivals are Giovanni Lo Celso for 32 million and Davidson Sanchez for 42 million. Some notable departures are Kyle Walker for 52.7 million and Kieran Trippier for 22 million. Wolves have the 7th worst transfer net spend since 2016 with a negative 237.05 million. Some notable arrivals are Raul Jimenez for 38 million and Adama Traore for 20 million. Some notable departures are Diogo Jota for 44.7 million and Matt Doherty for 16.8 million. Aston Villa have the 6th worst transfer net spend since 2016 with a negative 282.7 million. Some notable arrivals are Ollie Watkins for 34 million and Tyrone Mings for 22.3 million. Some notable departures are Idrissa Gueye for 8.5 million and Jordan Amavi for 10 million. Everton have the 5th worst transfer net spend since 2016 with a negative 284.11 million. Some notable arrivals are Ben Godfrey for $27.5 million and Gylfi Sigurdsson for $49.4 million. Some notable departures are Romelu Lukaku for $84.7 million and John Stones for $55.6 million. Chelsea have the fourth worst transfer net spend since 2016 with a negative $291.48 million. Some notable arrivals are Kai Havertz for $80 million and Kepa for $80 million. Some notable departures are Thibaut Courtois for $35 million and Diego Costa for $60 million. Arsenal have the third worst transfer net spend since 2016 with a negative $342.39 million. Some notable arrivals are Thomas Partey for $50 million and Nicolas Pepe for $80 million. Some notable departures are Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for $38 million and Alexis Sanchez for $34 million. Manchester United are the runner-ups in the worst transfer net spend since 2016, with a negative $561.1 million. Some notable arrivals are Harry Maguire for $87 million and Paul Pogba for $105 million. Some notable departures are Romelu Lukaku for $74 million and Henrik Mkhitaryan for $34 million. Manchester City are the worst club in the Premier League when it comes to the worst transfer net spend since 2016, with a negative $615.46 million. Some notable arrivals are Ruben Diaz for $68 million and João Cancelo for $65 million. Some notable departures are Leroy Sané for $45 million and Kelechi Iheanacho for $27.7 million.